I've just got back from the game and I can't get this idea about counter-attacking football out of my head. I keep thinking about it. It's over and over, just going over and over again. In order to counter-attack effectively, you need some form of pace about you, right? And I'm not just talking about physically how fast a player can move, although obviously, although apparently not David Sullivan, David Moyes, but obviously that is vital to a counter-attacking system. But I'm also talking about how fast you can transition from defending to attacking. How fast can you make that situation flip on its head and punish your opponent for overextending, for overstretching, for attacking you? How fast can you do that? And we are glacially slow. We are unbelievably casual about the way we move the ball forward. It's infuriating to watch. Sitting inside that stadium is like driving me insane. If you look at the difference between Liverpool today and us today, and it's kind of an unfair comparison. Obviously, Liverpool are the best team in the country, best team in the world, if you want to word it like that, and it's kind of an unfair comparison to make. But when one of their players receives the ball, they take a couple of very close sort of touches and then fire the ball off. They find the person they need to find it to, they progress the ball forward. When we receive it, they sort of control it, take some heavy touches to the right, take some heavy touches to the left, maybe pass it side to side a bit, and it comes across as us being indecisive going forward. And if you're a counter-attacking team, you cannot be indecisive. You have to know what you're doing, you have to go, especially if you're against Liverpool, because Liverpool will punish you, right? Maybe some lesser teams won't, although we seem to struggle against them just as much as we struggle against Liverpool. Liverpool who didn't even get out of first gear, by the way. But you have to be decisive, you have to move the ball quickly. Look at every good counter-attacking team, right? Look at Leicester when they won the league, look at Liverpool under Klopp, look at Dortmund under Klopp, probably look at Mainz under Klopp, although I didn't ever watch that. They transition so quickly, and those teams are some of the best at transitioning, right? Those sides were some incredible teams for transition phases, right? So rapid, and you don't have to be that rapid, but you do need to, pick up the pace a little bit. That's something we don't do, that's something we never do, and especially under Moyes, who sets up to play counter-attacking and seems to want to play counter-attacking football against everyone. He keeps playing this five-at-the-back system. He clearly thinks that's the way we're going to get out of the hole we're in. Except the evidence just isn't there that we can do it effectively. We weren't going to score today, for love nor money. If you put us out there against Liverpool's kids, we wouldn't score. If you put us out there for half an hour longer than we did, we wouldn't have scored. And that was against the Liverpool who didn't get out of first gear, weren't playing all of their first team players. Like, the truth of the matter is, we just wouldn't have scored. You can play that long ball. Long ball is kind of an effective way to beat a high press. And Liverpool play with a high press. If all of the players are pressing you and you just play the ball over the top, they can't press you anymore. And not only that, if you do it accurately enough, you take all of those players out of the game, they're all out of position. And Haller does give you that option because he has got that hold-up ability. However, put someone next to him. It's not rocket science. I'm not talking about tax laws here. It's not something that you need to have a degree to understand. Just put someone next to him so we can win that second ball, so that long ball over the top can be an effective way to an attack. It's not just a random clearance, because that's ultimately what it is. It would just be just a random clearance. If you play the ball up, Haller gets it down, but there's no one to do, so we lose position and it goes back, then it was a clearance. It was nothing more than that. Lanzini was the person he put in that role. Lanzini's the person David Moyes clearly thinks is the person for that role, right? He's the only person who thinks that. I don't know what the board think, but the fact he just continuously keeps putting there means either A, he thinks he was the player he was last time he was here, or B, I don't know why I'm doing that, I said A and B, or B, he thinks he can get back to that position. But the truth is that I'm not sure that's the case, and I don't think anyone else thinks that today. When Lanzini got subbed off today, there was a sarcastic cheer. For Lanzini, I like Lanzini a lot, but this season he's been utterly atrocious. He's been useless. He's been pointless to be on that pitch, especially of late. There is no point to Lanzini existing on that football pitch. He should not be starting, especially ahead of Fornals, who's the most informed player before he came here. If you're a manager who has come in specifically to save a club, if that's your entire remit, is get the club out of the hole it is in, stop them from getting relegated, surely you would look at it and go, well, who was actually playing well? Who were the actual bright sparks from previous 4 hours? Right, better play him then. Why would you play an out of form, out of favour, injured, or at least injury prone player in his place? It makes zero sense. And yet here we are as he keeps repeatedly doing it. And the thing that strikes me most about today is that if David Moyes thought it wasn't working, if he thought his plan wasn't working, then he would have made more than one sub. But he didn't. He made one substitution. And to an extent, you would take a 2-0 loss to Liverpool, right? They are rampant. They are brilliant. They are destroying the league, playing unbelievable football, and are very, very hard to stop. And the fact they didn't get out of gear today and still beat us 2-0 quite handily shows how good they are. But there was zero signs of us doing anything attacking-wise. And if you're going to play counter-attacking football to minimise your defensive losses, fine. I understand that. I don't want to see it, but I understand it, okay? Especially when we're in a hole like we're in now. But in football, you still have to outscore your opponent. I don't want to quote Michael Owen, but you have to outscore your opponent. And we were not outscoring anyone today. The ball was not ending up in the net. Haller didn't have a single shot. There wasn't a single shot from Haller. Rice had the most amount of shots for us. I mean, what does that say about the way David Moyes set up today?